What's the world's strangest job that actually exists? Professional mourner. And I accidentally became the best one in Chicago after showing up to the wrong funeral. I was unemployed and desperate for work when I saw a Craigslist ad that said, emotional support services needed, $200 per day, must be available immediately. I figured it was some kind of therapy assistant job, so I applied. The woman who hired me over the phone, Mrs. Chen, gave me an address and told me to dress professionally and bring tissues. She said I'd be providing comfort during a difficult time, and hung up before I could ask questions. I showed up at what I thought was an office building, but turned out to be a funeral home. There was a wake happening for someone named Harold Morrison, and I figured Mrs. Chen must work there. I walked into the viewing room looking for my boss, but instead found about 30 people sitting quietly around a casket. Everyone looked sad, so I figured I should start providing emotional support immediately. I approached an elderly woman in the front row and said, "I'm so sorry for your loss. Harold seems like he was a wonderful man." She started crying and hugged me. "Thank you, dear. It means so much that Harold's work friends came to pay their respects." That's when I realized I was at the wrong funeral, but this woman clearly needed support. So I decided to stay and do my job, even if I was in the wrong place. For the next 2 hours, I worked the room like a professional mourner. I shared made-up memories about Harold's dedication to his work and his infectious laugh. I comforted his widow, told his grandchildren stories about their grandfather's kindness, and even delivered an impromptu eulogy about his impact on everyone's lives. The family was so grateful that they invited me to the reception. Harold's brother shook my hand and said, "Harold always spoke so highly of you at the office." I nodded sadly and said, "He was the best supervisor I ever had." The real problem started when Mrs. Chen called during the reception, asking where I was. Turns out the actual job was across town at a different funeral home, and I'd been AWOL for 3 hours. I explained the mix-up, but instead of being angry, Mrs. Chen was impressed. "You improvised a complete performance with no preparation? That's exactly what this business needs." Mrs. Chen ran a professional mourning service for families who needed to fill empty funeral homes. Apparently, I'd just given the performance of a lifetime at Harold Morrison's sparsely attended service. Word spread quickly through the funeral industry. Harold's family told other funeral directors about the wonderful young man who'd made their service so meaningful. Within a week, I was getting calls from funeral homes across the city. My accidental career as a professional mourner took off. I developed different personas: the devoted coworker, the old family friend, the grateful neighbor. I could cry on command and deliver heartfelt speeches about people I'd never met. The weirdest part was how good I became at it. I started actually caring about these strangers, learning about their lives from obituaries and family photos. Each funeral became an acting challenge where I honored someone's memory. 6 months later, I was making more money as a fake mourner than I ever had at a real job. Mrs. Chen promoted me to Senior Emotional Support Specialist and gave me business cards. The best part? Harold Morrison's widow hired me to attend her birthday party because I brought such comfort during her darkest hour. Sometimes the best careers start with showing up to the wrong place at exactly the right time.